ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review video. Now today we're going to be taking a look at another Sideshow comic book style figure, and it's of course Red Skull. We looked at Cap recently and Thor, and I liked them both, so I thought I may as well pick up a villain. So that's exactly what I did. It's a super classic comic book style version of Red Skull, so if you are going down this collecting journey with me and picking up the comic book style figures, I definitely think this guy is one you need to add to your shelf. If he is still available from Sideshow, I will include the link down in the description below. What we are going to do now though is get the box laying flat in the light box and do the unboxing. And here we have the box art for Red Skull. You can see we do have an image of the figure right up here on the front of the box, in of course a red motif. It makes sense for Red Skull. On the back, an image of the figure as well. Now I'm really excited to see all of the various comic book panels dotted around the box, and here we have them. That is an absolutely stunning image, so too is that one, and oh my goodness, that one on the side, very, very ominous, and yet another awesome image, this time of the Hydra logo up on top. But that's not all, we do have a bunch more comic book panels on the inside. That's kind of the look they're trying to go for here, with a very, very classic version of Red Skull in his green Hydra uniform. And of course, here we have him. I like this, it's a nice touch, it also holds both trays together, but it's of course the Hydra logo. Now let's get this guy out here. I've been collecting various Sideshow hero-style comic book figures on the channel. We've got Cap, we've got Thor, we've got some of the X-Men, and now of course we need another villain to join Magneto. And here we have him. First in-hand impressions are, yeah, he feels relatively sturdy in hand, and I'm liking the colours on the outfit and the head sculpt. Now as you can see, he comes with 2 trays, so what we are going to do now is get all of his accessories laid out in the light box and take a closer look at everything he comes with. And here we have everything that comes with Red Skull. Taking a look at the display base first, it's got of course a Hydra print on the top. I really like the way this looks. You do have a regular crotch grabber up on top as well. The only thing that I'd probably comment on this is, imagine if the display base was red with a black Hydra logo on there. That would look absolutely beautiful. This looks great too, by all means, but that red base really would have set this guy over the top. Now he does of course come with a bunch of hands. They are all done in this black leather glove style. They do all have their own individual hand pegs, also done in red. Of course, it's Red Skull, so it does make sense. Now he does come with a few weapons. Let's start off by taking a look at his pistol. This might just be one of my favourite designs for a Red Skull pistol that I've ever seen. It's super intricate, you can see a bunch of detail, and of course, the hammer on the back is a skull. It had to be. It's Red Skull. It makes perfect sense, and I love the way this looks. Has a wash in the crevices just to bring out all of that fantastic sculpted detail. Now he does of course come with this cane. This cane is made out of die cast. It's a solid metal piece, and you do have a beautiful glossy red skull up the top here, and it comes down to a nice silver point down below. He also comes with a little dagger. Again, with a skull in the handle. It just makes sense, of course, being Red Skull, and I do like the little sort of tentacles that come down to mimic the Hydra logo. It's a really nice touch, and yes, it is very sharp, so do be careful not to prick yourself. The last thing he comes with is the Tesseract, aka the Cosmic Cube, done in a nice translucent blue. What we are going to do now, though, is get Red Skull himself out here and take a closer look. And here we have him standing straight up and down in the light box, no crazy poses or accessories or anything like that. Yeah, I'm really liking this figure. There are a few key things which I think they nailed. Number one, the outfit. It's really classic comic book Red Skull with the vibrant green and the vibrant red, but also the various black accents dotted around as well. Then they went ahead and nailed the head sculpt as well. It's fantastic. I love this Red Skull head sculpt with the grinning teeth and the sunken in eyes. We'll discuss it more in just a second. It just comes together perfectly. And yeah, we already have a villain for the shelf, so when that Hot Toys Iron Man eventually comes out, I think this guy is going to be going for a pretty penny. So if you want a classic comic book Avengers villain for your shelf by the time Hot Toys Iron Man is here, I'd say you should pick this guy up now before he gets rather impossible to find. What we are going to do now though is take him off the rotating turntable, punch in, and take a closer look at the details. And here we have him up close and personal. And yeah, so far, this is really working for me. Let's talk about the head sculpt first. I love it. I love the texture, I love the really prominent grin with the yellowed teeth, and the super sunken in evil eyes. If that doesn't look super ominous and mean, I don't know what does. I'm loving the way they've done this. Granted, it's not meant to be a classic sort of movie-style version of Red Skull, it's the comic book version, so for me this works very, very nicely. I'm curious though, let me know what you think of this sculpt down in the comments below. Now as for the outfit, it's basically a green military style uniform all the way down to these MC Hammer style pants. I really like the way they've done these, and I really like the green of the outfit. The only thing that's missing for me from the set would be a black trench coat to go over the top and a Hydra military style hat. I don't know why they didn't include those two items. I will be trying to pick them up from various 6-scale retailers, and I'll film an update if I decide to eventually go down that path. Now you can see a metal Hydra pin up the top here, and another Hydra logo down below on the belt. You do have this harness section which comes around, but the belt is a free floating piece, so you can move it up and down when you get to your posing. He also does have a real metal chain that has a little sheath for his Hydra dagger, and of course I have it slotted in there. He also has his Hydra armband up the top here in a very punchy red, so that's what I was talking about with the base. I would have loved to see this color scheme on the base. Granted, I still like it, but this would have been a really nice touch. The only complaint that I do have about the outfit is this. Look how baggy the sleeves are. I think they've done that for when you bend the arm, it sort of pulls it back and gives you a little bit more of the hand, and if they hadn't, then it would sit a little bit higher. But that's fine for me. I'd like to expose the red body underneath because not a lot of companies would do that. They would have just used a standard body, but not Sideshow. I'm pretty sure this entire body is red underneath. That is a really nice attention to detail. Speaking of red, you do have piping throughout the outfit. Around these cuffs here, around the edges of the pants, it's a very nice touch. Coming down to the boots, you do have some military style boots, and initially I thought they were a fixed piece, but no, they are my favorite, a split cut boot design. There is no detail on the underside, but at the very least you do get some ankle pivot, and a fairly generous amount at that. That's rather impressive for a boot that kind of looks seamless fresh out of the box. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this Red Skull. It ticks the box for a classic comic book version of the villain. I'm hoping that Sideshow give us even more villains. I'm hoping for a Doctor Doom, maybe even a Mr. Sinister for the X-Men lineup. But let me know what you think of Red Skull down in the comments below. Now for a quick side-by-side comparison, here we have Red Skull standing alongside the comic book version of Cap, also by Sideshow. I really like the Cap, and yeah, I really like the Red Skull, and together they work even better in my opinion. Both sort of comic book inspired, but not from any specific story, but they're classic enough to meld really nicely together. I can imagine seeing an awesome display of Red Skull fighting this version of Cap in the collection. Honestly, I might be doing that sometime in the near future, because these two deserve a really awesome spot in the display doing some sort of awesome battle, maybe even in some sort of diorama. Stay tuned to the channel for that. But yeah, overall so far, these two figures are really darn awesome. Just going over articulation on Red Skull. Now bear in mind, this is my personal copy of the figure, so I'm going to be a little bit more careful. I'm sure when you get yours in hand, you can push the joints slightly further than I'm willing to go. Now starting off with the neck, it is on a fixed neck, but it's a rubbery style one, so you still get a fairly decent range of motion in pretty much all directions. The arms themselves go out to about there, go forward to about there, swivel at the bicep, and a butterfly joint in the shoulder there. You do have a double bend at the elbow, and a regular 1/6 scale style joint for the wrist. As for the torso, you do have a swivel, pivot, and crunch forward and back. The legs themselves go forward pretty much the full way, same thing going out, swivel at the thigh, double bend at the knee, which is incredibly stiff, and of course a regular 1/6 scale style ball joint for the ankle. Just wrapping up on the Sideshow comic book version of Red Skull. So far, I've been really impressed with the various Sideshow comic book figures that we've reviewed on the channel. And yeah, this guy is no exception. He is awesome. I'm really happy that I decided to pick him up. I love the head sculpt, I love the paint applications on the sculpt. It just looks so mean and so menacing, and also a little bit sassy at the same time. Then the outfit is just icing on the cake. It's that military Hydra style outfit in the vibrant green that just perfectly complements the red. It's very classic comic book Red Skull, and I know I've said classic and comic book about 90 times throughout the course of this video, but it really is the best way to describe this guy right here. They've gone for an aesthetic, and in my opinion, they've nailed it. He perfectly complements the rest of the line, the Cap, and also some of the X-Men figures. Plus, I think he's going to work really nicely with the comic version of Iron Man coming from Hot Toys. So yeah, I'm really happy I decided to pick him up. If he is still available from Sideshow, I will include the link down in the description below. Also, while you are down there, why not check out the link to 6 Scale Network, the awesome Facebook group. Come along, chat figures, share photos of your collection, and of course, see what's coming up next on the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.